Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Week 1 edition of the Wilkes Journal-Patriot's High School Football Rundown presented by Cooks and produced by River Street Productions. I'm sports editor Zach Colburn, and assistant sports editor Brandon Moree will be joining momentarily to take a closer look at this week's games. You might have already noticed that we're trying out a new format this week since I'm at the desk all alone. Brandon's over at the big board today to talk about the game of the week. This week, the game of the week went down to Moravian Falls as the Eagles held off the Raiders from North Iredell 2018. What do you have for us, Brandon?
The Eagles kicked off their season on Friday night with an exciting win against North Iredell, visiting from just down the road. Head coach Ron Turner was on hand, and he's been away dealing with a medical issue, so his presence was certainly exciting for everyone there. The action really picked up late when Justin Parsons scored that touchdown you see right there from 2 yards out to give his team the 6-point lead. On the next play, which you just saw right there, Camden Wyatt found Ethan Scott on the left-hand side to convert the 2-point conversion and take that 20-12 lead. North Iredell responded by marching down the field and finding the end zone inside the last minute of the game and looked to have scored on the 2-point conversion, but thanks to a penalty for an illegal forward pass, the points were taken off the board, sealing the Eagles' 20-18 lead. Then they tried this onside kick, which you can see was recovered by the Eagles, who promptly took a couple of knees to seal out the win. For the game, Wyatt went 7 for 19 for 134 yards without throwing an interception, and Parsons led all rushers with 97 yards and a pair of touchdowns on 18 carries. Josiah Ferguson had 3 catches for 97 yards for the Eagles as well. And for the Raiders, Justice Millsaps had 75 yards and a pair of touchdowns. In Week 1, the Eagles were the only team in town, but next week they'll be the only Wilkes County team on the road as they will travel to West Iredell. Back to you, Zach.
Thanks, Brandon. The Eagles and the East Wilkes Cardinals were the only two Wilkes County teams to pick up wins on Friday night. The Cardinals slid past South Stokes 15-6, handing the Stars their 18th consecutive loss. Javian Ross, who ran for his first career 100-yard rushing game, gave the Cardinals a 2-possession lead with a 13-yard touchdown run in the fourth quarter, and Hunter Cleary picked off the Stars on the ensuing possession to help seal up the win. Austin Jolly scored the Cardinals' other touchdown in the first quarter. North Wilkes traveled to Lenoir on Friday night to square off with West Caldwell and fell 41-10. The Vikings might have also lost starting quarterback Cedric White for a while after he left the game following a helmet-to-helmet hit. The Warriors were led by quarterback Titus Tucker's 163 passing yards and 70 rushing yards. He was 9 of 11 with 2 touchdown passes. For the Vikings, Jarrett Grimes ran for 127 yards on 39 carries. Brandon was up in Bakersville to see West Wilkes in Week 1. How'd things look up there?
The Blackhawks also dropped their season opener as they fell 20-6 to the defending 1AA state runner-up Mitchell Mountaineers, but they were undone by their own mistakes, like this fumble you're about to see right there, more so than the Mountaineers. Later in the second quarter, Trenton Walsh was picked off by the Mountaineers secondary, and Mitchell responded by marching down the field to where you see them right now. There's quarterback Ben Young getting ready to take the snap. He's going to find tight end Alex McKinney here in the end zone to take that 20-6 lead into halftime. After the break, the West Wilkes Blackhawks came out and put together a strong drive, made it all the way down to the goal line before Alex Ortiz had the ball come loose right there, and the Mountaineers recovered. West Wilkes had a couple of other chances late, but they wouldn't get that close to the end zone again. What we're about to see here is what was likely the best play of the night from the Blackhawks offensively, as Noah Dancy's going to take this handoff from Trenton Walsh and go spin move right here, whoop, through traffic before he gets taken down inside the red zone. For the game, Mitchell quarterback Ben Young finished the night with 95 rushing yards and 114 passing yards. And for the Blackhawks, Cody Call ran for 79 yards, and Walsh added 12 on the ground while going 4 for 10 for 38 yards through the air. Zach, over to you.
Next week, East Wilkes will host Surrey Central, the Vikings will host South Stokes, West Wilkes will have Pine Lake Prep, and the Eagles, as Brandon mentioned earlier, will be at West Iredell. But before we go, we want to send you off with the Play of the Week presented by River Street Productions. This week's Play of the Week came from this week's Game of the Week. Brandon, what do you have for us?
We're going to see Justin Parsons here come out to the right and catch a pitch from Camden Wyatt. A little bit high, but he pulls it in. Then he comes inside, goes left bumper to juke into traffic before going down at the 2-yard line. On the very next play, he scored the game-winning touchdown to help lift his team to the Week 1 victory. Zach, take us home.
All right, this has been the Week 1 edition of the Wilkes Journal-Patriot's High School Football Rundown presented by Cooks. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at WJP_sports, and we'll see you on Friday night.